Eastern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Record gas prices and Memorial Day weekend go hand in hand this weekend as travel increases. AAA reports gas prices average $4.29 right now in Kentucky. WYMT's Zach Hawk is live near I-75 in London with more about Memorial Day travel. Zach.
Steve, we're just about at the end of rush hour here, and from what I've been seeing, traffic's moving along maybe a little bit slow, but just fine. No major delays anyways. However, it's the travelers that I've been talking to all day that are telling me it's these high gas prices that are their major concern. Now, most of the locations around here are seeing prices pushing around $4.20 per gallon, and they tell me that means they are spending significantly more at the pump than in past years. But some people have found a way to save money. Motorcycles, which get better mileage. Like this man from Indiana that says he's getting by, but he worries about others.
I'll just be glad when the fuel prices come down, because what I feel sorry for is these families that work a little bit over minimum wage job and they got families to feed. How are they going to continue to support this fuel cost?
Now, if you are traveling this weekend, unfortunately, gas prices are over $4 per gallon in all 50 states. And kind of making matters worse, experts at AAA say these high prices are likely to last through the entire summer travel season. Live in London, Zach Hawk, WYMT Mountain News.
All right, Zach, thank you very much. Well, at least the weather is looking pretty good this weekend. The G7 agreed to achieve predominantly decarbonized electricity sectors by 2035. The G7 includes the United States, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and the United Kingdom, as well as the European Union. Their decision reaffirmed an end to fossil fuel subsidies by the end of this year. The decision was made against the backdrop of Russia's war in Ukraine, which has given a renewed sense of urgency in Europe in particular to expedite the transition of cleaner energy sources. An unusual scene this morning in western Kentucky. A semi overturned near the Logan County line after taking a sharp turn, spilling about 1,000 ears of corn onto the road. The wreck blocked Highway 73 going towards Simpson County. The truck was only a few minutes away from its destination. Kentucky State Police and first responders were on the scene, and several people shoveled the fallen corn into another semi-truck.
Back with you here in downtown Pineville on day 2 of the Kentucky Mountain Laurel Festival here in Pineville. We're going to continue to see, well, we've had some clouds, a few drops of rain over the last little bit, but the good news is that we are starting to see some drier conditions prevail over the next few minutes. Not the case in other places. How about I-64 at Moorhead right now? Look at this, the bottom side of a shower just now moving in the distance from our camera, and that's actually moving toward the camera to the top left of the screen. You can see the rain on the back side of that. So a brief interruption in the sunshine as you head up toward Rowan County this afternoon. You can see, here's our showers working through the region on satellite and radar. Like I said, we've had a few here in southeast Kentucky, down into portions of Bell and Harlan counties. We're going to see more as we head through the evening hours, at least until that low pressure could finally move on. We've gotten a lot chillier here in Pineville. Middlesboro's at 71. I'd say we're at least about 68 degrees, and even cooler where they've seen more showers. How about 66 Manchester and 62 right now in London? So we're going to continue to see the potential for some cooler air in some spots once you get on the backside of some of these showers. So keep that WYMT weather app handy, especially if you're headed out to the Mountain Laurel Festival tonight. We're down into the 60s and eventually into the 50s as we head into the nighttime hours. I'll have the details on stick around for your Memorial Day weekend coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. The National Rifle Association is meeting for its annual convention in Texas, less than 300 miles from where 19 fourth graders and 2 educators were shot to death at their elementary school. Gun safety groups called on the NRA to cancel the event, but it is going forward and putting the fight over gun restrictions at center stage. CBS's Natalie Brand reports.
No! Outside the National Rifle Association's annual meeting in Houston, thousands of demonstrators demanded gun safety in the wake of the Texas elementary school massacre that killed 19 children and 2 teachers.
We're pleading for help. We're pleading for help from everyone.
Inside, Texas Senator Ted Cruz and former President Donald Trump are headline speakers. Texas Governor Greg Abbott canceled his in-person speech, but appeared in pre-recorded remarks.
There are thousands of laws on the books across the country that limit the owning or using of firearms. Laws that have not stopped madmen from carrying out evil acts.
The NRA meeting moved forward despite calls to cancel it, with tens of thousands of NRA members in attendance.
We will not allow our Second Amendment rights to be taken away from us by a bunch of cheap politicians.
A CBS News poll taken following the grocery store massacre in Buffalo, but before the Uvalde mass shooting, shows around 54% of Americans want stricter laws around the sale of guns. But our poll also revealed a stark partisan divide on the issue, with less than 30% of Republicans surveyed wanting stricter laws. And gun rights groups spent $15.8 million on lobbying last year, 5 times more than what gun safety groups spent. At least one gun maker is not attending the NRA convention. Daniel Defense, the manufacturer of one of the guns purchased by the Uvalde gunman, said in a statement, "One of our products was criminally misused. We believe this week is not the appropriate time to be promoting our products in Texas at the NRA meeting." A recent post by the company on Twitter featured a photo of a toddler holding an assault rifle. That post has since been removed. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Guns are permitted inside the NRA convention except during former President Trump's speech. The Secret Service is prohibiting attendees from having firearms while he is in the venue. As mentioned, several groups gathered outside the Houston Convention Center to protest where the NRA is holding its annual meeting. One group is the League of United Latin American Citizens. Members of LULAC say they denounced the NRA convention on the heels of one of the nation's largest mass school shootings in history. The shooting at Robb Elementary School was the deadliest since December 2012, when a gunman killed 20 children and 6 adults at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut.
I was in Uvalde yesterday, and I went to visit because I knew that some of my fan base, my age, were grandparents and great-grandparents, lost their children. And it's a shame because just across the street, we have these people with blood in their hands.
Authorities are still piecing together what happened after the gunman opened fire at the Texas school. Congress is on its Memorial Day recess until June 6th, but some lawmakers will be working through the break on new gun safety legislation following the deadly massacre in Uvalde, Texas. Gun safety talks in the Senate took a step forward when Minority Leader Mitch McConnell asked John Cornyn to negotiate with Democrats to see if there is a compromise to be reached. Cornyn joins a bipartisan group of senators who say they will work on the issue through the Memorial Day recess.
I expect there will be an informed debate about reforms we can make, and I look forward to participating in those discussions.
Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says the Senate will vote on gun safety legislation as soon as Congress gets back from its recess. The White House says President Biden supports the push for an urgent vote. Large-scale shootings have triggered new limits on gun ownership and access in numerous other countries. After 5 people were killed during an attack last summer, the United Kingdom government tightened its already strict gun restrictions. The Australian government banned automatic and semi-automatic weapons after 35 people were killed in a shooting spree in 1996. Canada has enacted tough gun education, qualification, and registration requirements in response to mass shootings there. Texas law enforcement officials are detailing a series of mistakes as they explain why it took 90 minutes to end Tuesday's shooting rampage. The head of Texas Department of Public Safety tried to explain what caused the delay in stopping the gunman inside Robb Elementary School. Director Stephen McCraw says the on-scene commander wrongly thought there were no more children at risk, even as trapped students and a teacher repeatedly called 911 begging for help.
For the benefit of hindsight, where I'm sitting now, of course it was not the right decision. It was the wrong decision, period.
Authorities say the 18-year-old gunman fired more than 100 rounds based on their audio evidence and had carried more than 600 rounds inside the school. The mother of the 18-year-old gunman who carried out the shooting is asking for forgiveness for herself and her son. Adriana Martinez said she knows that her son, quote, had his reasons, but asks that people not judge him.
I have no words. I have no words to say. I don't know what he was thinking. He had his reasons for doing what he did, and please don't judge him. I only want the innocent children who died to forgive me.
Authorities say Ramos first shot his grandmother at her home before going to the school. She is still being treated at a hospital. With Memorial Day just around the corner, tens of thousands of musicians are gearing up to play in one of the largest musical performances of all time. It's called Taps Across America. On Monday at 3 o'clock sharp, they'll play Taps to remember America's fallen. Taps Across America began in 2020 when many Memorial Day parades were canceled. Any musician can participate, and everyone is encouraged to step outside to listen and reflect. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial is now in the hands of a jury.
And the very latest on that Memorial Day forecast. Spoiler alert, we got some sunshine on the way back. The details coming up.
WYMT News app offers alerts on breaking stories as they happen.